Hello and welcome to Architect's Guide to Salesforce Agentforce 360. In today's session, we'll dive into another exciting hands-on use case where we are creating an Apex-based custom action that enables customers to calculate return fees using real-time currency conversion. To achieve this, we'll go through three simple steps. Firstly, let's create a custom Apex REST callout class that connects to a live exchange rate API. During this step, we will sign up for a free exchange rate API account, test your API endpoint using Postman, create the Apex custom REST callout class, and whitelist the REST API endpoint in a remote site setting within Salesforce. Secondly, we will assign these appropriate permissions to your Agentforce user by adding and assigning the newly created Apex class to the existing agent action access permission set. And lastly, let's create a new custom topic and a custom Apex-based topic action for your agent. This defines the logic and instructions your agent will use to perform real-time currency conversion when calculating the return fees. Once complete, your Agentforce agent will be able to dynamically fetch the live exchange rates and provide customers with accurate, up-to-date return fee conversions. Alright, let's begin by heading over to https app.exchangerate-api.com and create a free account. Once you have registered, you will receive an API key and which will allow us to perform real-time currency conversions. Next, we will test the API endpoint using Postman to ensure everything works as expected. According to the documentation, this is a GET request and the endpoint access accepts 4 key parameters that we can modify during the testing. Firstly, we need to update the API key once you receive after registration. Second is the source currency. In this example, you see euro. Thirdly is the target currency. And in this example, you see GBP. And lastly, the amount, the base currency value you like to convert. And when you send this request, you will receive an instant JSON response showcasing the converted amount, confirming that the API is working correctly. Now move on to Postman and copy the endpoint URL from the documentation and mark it as a GET request. And as we discussed, let's change the 4 parameters, test the API. Firstly, the API key. You paste the new API key and change your base currency to USD, target currency to United Arab Emirates dirhams, and the amount to 100, and click on send. When you send the request, you will receive the instant JSON response as we discussed, and it will show you the conversion result on real-time exchange rates. REST callout class, which we'll later use as a topic action in our upcoming steps. So let's name the class as currency conversion service. Inside this class, I've added a constant to store the API key. As a note, there are more secure ways to manage this in Salesforce, such as using protected custom metadata, custom labels, or name credentials. But for this demonstration purposes, we will keep it as simple. Next, I have defined a service request DAO class to capture the input parameters for our convert function, namely the base currency, target currency, and the amount. Each of these input fields are marked as invocable variable annotation. Then we have defined our main static function, convert, annotated with at invocable method with callout true. Within this method, the endpoint is configured with the 4 parameters we used earlier during our Postman test. The method performs a HTTP GET request, executes the callout, and retrieves the response. The JSON response is then deserialized into key value pairs, and finally the converted amount is returned as a decimal value. Before we test the callout, let's whitelist the API endpoint as a remote site setting. Once the Class is ready. Let's test it in execute anonymous window to verify that the callout and the conversion logic works correctly. Let's execute this. And here in debug logs, you see the response, which is the converted amount. Let's assign the Apex class that we just created into the agent user permission. So let's navigate to our existing agent user, click on permission set assignments, and navigate to the agent action access permission set. Under Apex class access, let's add the newly created class currency conversion service. This ensures that the Agentforce user has the permission to execute the Apex class and perform the real-time currency conversion. Alright, let's start expanding our existing Mahapa agent. Head on to your agent setup and add a new topic called currency conversion. Give it a short description, scope, and clear instructions. In this instruction, we are given when a user requests a currency conversion, ask for the amount, the base currency, and the target currency. This helps the agent to understand the context and prompt users for the right information during the conversation. Next, we will define the topic action. So now let's define what our agent can actually do within this new topic. We will create a custom Apex-based topic action named convert currency. So if you hit on new, create action, choose action type as Apex, category as invocable method, and choose the class which we have created, convert currency. And this tells the agent force to use our Apex class, the currency conversion service, whenever a user requests for a currency conversion. And that's it. Now your agent force agent can now perform real-time currency conversion on demand. So let's put the test in Agentforce conversation preview. Let's try asking, what is the return fee for a wrongly purchased product? Here, you will notice the response comes from a previously created footwear return policy knowledge article, and it says the fee is 25 US dollars. Now, let's take it a step further. How much is that return fee in AED, in dirhams? And just like that, your agent fetches the live conversion rate and returns the amount in UAE dirhams, which is approximately 91.81. With just a few configuration steps, you have built an intelligent context-aware Agentforce experience, combining knowledge and Apex power into one seamless interaction.